Hi, everyone. My name is Brady Ross. I'm the president of ICF Arkansas, Oklahoma. And today I'm here with Rhonda Ellis. Rhonda is an associate certified coach. She is almost a professional certified coach. She is reaching the very end of her credentialing for PCC. She also serves on our board as our secretary treasurer. And this is her 6th year, I believe, on the board. So she's our longest current tenured board member. Rhonda, so good to have you on the channel. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks, Brady, and thank you for accepting presidency. You're doing an amazing job this year, and we just got a lot of momentum going. So I'm just so glad that you accepted the presidency role.
Yes, and I appreciate it. It's easy when you get to serve with an awesome board like I get to do. So, Rhonda, tell us about how you got into coaching and what made you want to become a coach.
Okay, well, after spending about 10 years in higher education and getting my doctorate in healthcare management, and then a specialization in organizational leadership, I knew that I probably didn't want to stay in higher education as a full-time capacity. So I started reflecting on maybe what have been my biggest challenges as a leader. And I really believe that intentional leadership development is one of the keys of a thriving organization. So I started thinking back about when I first became a clinic manager in the healthcare industry in I guess that was like late 20s. I just remember how scary that was. I mean, I had a master's degree at that time, so I had the knowledge, but I really hadn't gained at that point in my career really tools, and I certainly didn't have any support. And as a coach, I always say that, the thing that sets us up for success is knowledge, tools, and support, KTS. And so I began thinking about what it would be like for just to reach out in the healthcare industry to support new managers, but also to do some executive leadership coaching too, because at that time, that was 11 years ago, even, healthcare seems to lag in some things, and coaching in healthcare industry was not something that was well accepted. But me being the pioneer in a lot of things, I was like, I'm going to give this a shot, right? And so I began coaching with executives in healthcare, and then also clinic managers, administrators, and just some people in the healthcare industry. But it was really because of my heart for just feeling so lost when I first became a manager and not having some tools and support to help me really thrive. A lot of times I just felt like I was surviving, and a lot of times I failed. And the failure is just a nightmare. So I really feel like that with leadership development, there's three legs to that stool. And one is training, two is going to conferences, meeting people, learning new things. But that third leg of that stool of leadership development is really coaching, and that's someone that can be our external eyes and ears to help us see our reality and explore some different perspectives with us. So that's where that's kind of my passion, and how I became a coach is just by reflecting back on the scary part of becoming a leader and manager and just not really feeling supported or having tools.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. It sounds like the two questions you had going through your head were, one, what would I have wanted when I was in this situation as somebody new to the healthcare profession? And then how can I help people today who are in that position now that I was once in? And now you're responding to that need.
Yeah, and it's been really amazing to see the people who were scared of coaching at first, but then now they're such a believer in it, right? Because they've experienced it. But at first, it is kind of intimidating to have someone, to ask you a million questions, because that's what coaches do. But just to have that vulnerability and that courage to say, you know what? I could use a different perspective, and I need someone to help me explore that. So
Mhm.
it's been really fun to watch people transform into that different perspective
Mhm.
by having a coach that can kind of help them do that.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. So you've been a coach for several years now. Tell us a little more about what your passion or your specialty is as a coach today.
So this is my 11th year to coach, and wow, what an amazing journey. And it's my passion has been in healthcare and helping those in the healthcare industry, because that's where I'd started. Um, and about every 10 years, I kind of feel a shift in myself, either a shift in maybe a different aspect of what career, or doing a totally different career. This is my third career in coaching is my third career. And the first, one was in management, and then I spent 22 years in higher education. So I'm seeing myself like there's a stirring inside myself about what's next in this next career of coaching. I know I'm going to stay in coaching, absolutely love it. But I think what I'm seeing now is a shifting and pairing leadership development with workplace well-being. And a little bit about workplace well-being. Workplace well-being is different from nutrition or movement, exercise, making sure you get enough sleep and stress management. Not that that doesn't go hand in hand and is interlocked together, but really when we're exploring workplace well-being is seeing and exploring the psychological safety that is in your workplace, looking and seeing how many hours are you asking your employees to work? Is that too much for them? Exploring how stress is looked at in an organization, and what are some tools that you have to help manage stress. We will never get away from stress, and stress is not a bad thing. I read a book one time called The Upside of Stress, which it's really about how I call it the 3 M's of stress. The mindfulness of stress is happening to us. What mindset do we have? Like, do we have a mindset that all stress is bad? No, it's not. The mindset is that, stress is always going to be with us. But the third thing is, and 3M to that is management. How do we manage it in order so it doesn't become the big monster for us? Mm-hmm. And so I'm really starting to pair the leadership development, because I think that is part of leadership development, is just taking care of your own well-being and the well-being of your workplace. And some people just don't know how to do that or what that looks like. So I've had a lot of fun this year and last year in just pairing workplace well-being with leadership development. And one of the things that I say and I have that just kind of came to me one day when I started doing this is that our ability to feel well influences our ability to lead well. Mm. So if we're not being mindful, about our own personal well-being and the well-being of our workplaces, it's going to be really difficult for us to thrive as an organization and as an individual. So I would say leadership development and then workplace well-being are my two passions in coaching, and what I help organizations and individuals do with most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. So as people listen to you talk about the work that you do with leadership development and workplace well-being, and think about how coaching based around the ICF core competencies intersects with that work that you do, what would you like for people to know about professional coaching?
That professional coaching is a career. Sometimes, I've had people, when I say I'm a coach, like, well, what's your full-time job? Well, that is my full-time job. And it is a career for me, right? So really just to know that professional coaching is a career, and that doesn't need to be taken lightly. I think that the coach training that I've had has made me be a better human and also a better coach. So if a person calls themselves a coach, I think I would challenge that anyone to explore the coach training that person has had, and any type of certification and coaching qualifications that they have. Because sometimes if they haven't had any of that, then they could just be a consultant telling you what to do. And we all know that coaches don't tell us what to do or shouldn't tell you what to do, but coaches are like I said before, the external eyes and ears that help us see, a new reality, to see our own reality and some different perspectives. So I would just challenge people, if you're looking for a coach, to check out their coach training, because it's something that we take serious as professional coaches, just like any other vocation or career that, requires some training.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Language is very important to us, and we recognize that when people use the word coach, they use it in a lot of different contexts, and it can have a lot of different meanings, but we're very passionate about the style of coaching that we do as ICF credentialed coaches. So thank you, Rhonda, for that reminder, and thanks for spending some time with us and sharing your wisdom. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Brady, and we'll be in touch.
Absolutely.